The number of mysterious deaths and sudden missing has been recorded at 10,000 per year in Japan. Most of them were caused by a cursed spirit. Suffering, regret, humiliation, or negative feelings of mankind are the main source of a curse. In public places such as school or hospital, local people are accustomed to store sacred objects to expel cursed spirits. However, instead of expelling, these objects actually invite the cursed spirits. In the midst of the fear, there is a group who works hard to wipe them out. They are called Jujutsu sorcerer. One day at school, the occult club plans to do occult observation. The club has 3 members. They are Sasaki, Eguchi, and Yuji Itadori. They take the sacred object at the school. At the same time, a Jujutsu sorcerer named Megumi Fushiguro was assigned to retrieve a sacred object at Yuji's school. When he crossed paths with Fuji, he detected a strong, cursed aura emitted. Megumi tried to talk to him, but Fuji was in a hurry to the hospital. Arriving at the hospital, Yuji listened to his grandfather's last word. Yuji, you're very strong. You have to help people. Act according to your ability. It's okay to be indecisive. It's okay not to receive gratitude. You have to try your best to save others. You must die surrounded by a lot of people. Don't end up like me. Right after saying these words, Yuji's grandfather passed away. At night, Megumi meets Fuji at the hospital. He explained his intention and asked him the sacred object that Yuji brought. Yuji gave the object to Megumi, but the box is empty. Yuji remembered that the content of the box was brought by Sasaki and Eguchi. That night, they also plan on conducting an occult observation. Knowing this, Megumi and Yuji rushed to the school. While they were on their way, Sasaki and Eguchi unsealed the paper wrapping the sacred object. After the seal was opened, it appeared that it was a finger. Suddenly, a cursed spirit appeared and attacked both of them. Arriving at the school, Megumi rushed to place of the curse and asked Yuji to stay. After that, Megumi immediately fought against the cursed spirit using the Jujutsu techniques. He had a hard time because the spirit took Sasaki and Eguchi hostage.
There you are. I am the cursed object!
Unexpectedly, Yuji came and beat the cursed spirit. He saved Sasaki and Eguchi, and then Megumi purified the curse. They are safe for a meantime. Megumi asked Yuji to hand over the sacred finger. Suddenly, a stronger curse appeared. Megumi was beaten and badly injured. Seeing this, Yuji couldn't stand still and fought against the curse with his only physical strength. But the cursed spirit can only be defeated with Jujutsu techniques. Even though Yuji's resistance seems futile, he keeps trying. He remembered his grandfather's words to help and save people. But then Yuji was caught and couldn't move. Despite his strong physique, however, he still couldn't defeat the cursed spirit. He got an idea to eat the sacred finger. He had listened to Megumi's explanation that the finger could provide great power. Then he ate the finger, as he had no other choice. After swallowing the finger, Yuji could defeat his opponent with just one touch. However, the side effect is that the spirit of the finger owner is now living in Yuji's body. Shortly after that, a Jujutsu higher-up named Segaru Gojo came to the location. He was surprised to hear that the sacred finger he was looking for had been swallowed by Yuji Itadori. Even more surprising, Yuji can control the curse. This is very rare that an ordinary human swallows a cursed finger and is able to control it. This means Yuji is a special one. After that, Yuji was brought to a particular place to talk privately with Satoru Gojo. Gojo explained that the sacred finger belongs to Ryomen Sukuna. Sukuna is a demon king who is sealed by Jujutsu sorcerers. After being defeated, Sukuna's fingers spread into 20 parts. Because it has 4 hands, it has 20 fingers. As for now, the Jujutsu sorcerers have kept 6 fingers. These fingers can't be destroyed and its seal begins to weaken. However, Yuji's appearance has changed everything. Swallowing Sukuna's finger is actually a serious violation of the law. Sukuna, who should have been sealed, was swallowed and now it has a body. The Jujutsu higher-ups demand Yuji to be executed as soon as possible because it can be serious if Sukuna gets up using Yuji's body. But Gojo has an idea. He wants to make Yuji a vessel for Sukuna. Yuji is asked to swallow 20 fingers and will be executed later on. That way, Sukuna will die completely and the Jujutsu higher-ups won't have to bother sealing the demon away. Actually, this is just an excuse for Gojo to convince the higher-ups. He might have other vision because seeing Yuji can control Sukuna. Then he gave one more finger for Yuji to swallow. As expected, Yuji is able to hold Sukuna. Gojo smiled with satisfaction seeing this miracle. Furthermore, Yuji will be guided at a particular Jujutsu academy in Tokyo. From now on, he lives in a dorm with Megumi. The next day, Gojo takes Yuji and Megumi to Harajuku area. There, they will welcome a new student named Nobara Kujizaki. The total students in the first year are 3 students. It is a small amount because only certain people can learn Jujutsu. A few minutes after the meeting, Gojo asked them to carry out a mission to eradicate the cursed spirit. Nobara and Yuji are involved in the mission for the field test to the new students. There they met a weak but quite cunning curse. It took a child hostage. Nobara had a quite hard time and didn't have any idea dealing with it. Fortunately, Yuji came and cut its arm and the hostage could be saved. Then Nobara destroyed the curse. She has a jujutsu technique that utilizes hammer, nail, and doll. If she hits the nail on the doll, her target will get the effect. Several days later, the school received a sudden demand. A cursed Wong was reported making appearance on top of the prison. The prisoners could see the curse, even the ones who don't have jujutsu techniques. That Wong can still evolve into a complete curse, and was predicted will turn into the special grade curse. Jujutsu sorcerers divide the cursed spirit into 4 curses. Grade 4 is the weakest and first grade is the strongest curse. It is called Special Grade Curse. This mission is actually handed to the Jujutsu sorcerers with even level, but the higher-ups are still busy and the number of Jujutsu sorcerers is only a few. Finally, they sent 3 students of the first grade. They are Megumi, Yuji, and Nobara. Arriving there, the Curse Womb had been evolved into Special Grade. They were split up. Nobara was moved on to another place by her opponent. Yuji and Megumi faced the Special Grade Curse. Yuji tried to attack, but his hands were cut. He realized their enemy this time is too strong for them. Yuji asked Megumi to run with Nobara while he would try to hold the enemy alone. Yuji realized that his power isn't enough. He plans on asking Sukuna for help. At first, Sukuna refused to help him and Yuji fought with his strength. He had a hard time and even almost died. He felt desperate and was ready to give up. Then Sukuna took over Yuji's body. Sukuna's appearance frightened the curse and it was easily defeated by Sukuna. After that, Sukuna picked up a finger from the curse, and this way the special grade curse had been successfully defeated. Sukuna tried to swap back with Yuji, but Yuji didn't give any response. He might fell unconscious and his body was completely controlled by Sukuna. Then he met Megumi, who was outside of the building. Sukuna took out Yuji's heart and ate the finger he possessed recently. If he swaps with Yuji this time, Yuji will die immediately. The fight occurred between Sukuna and Megumi, but Sukuna didn't put his all in this fight. When Megumi was on fire, Yuji swapped his body. He fell in front of Megumi. This way, Yuji Idori reportedly died. His body is taken to the base to get examined. Physically, he actually died, but there is Sukuna lives in his body. In his subconscious state, Yuji is having an agreement with Sukuna. Sukuna can restore Yuji's heart with 2 conditions. First, Yuji has to give his body to him for 1 minute. Second, Yuji must forget this deal. Sukuna promises he won't kill or harm people. At first, Yuji disagreed with the deal. He wants back to life without any condition. Hearing this, Sukuna gives an alternative. They will fight each other. If Sukuna wins, Yuji must accept the deal. If Yuji wins, he will revive unconditionally. A few seconds after agreeing, Yuji lost against Sukuna. In the end, Yuji was resurrected by the conditions from Sukuna. Yuji awakes naked in the autopsy room. There are 3 people in the room. One of them is Satoru Gojo. Happiness can be seen in his face. He warmly welcomes his precious student. After that, Gojo plans to keep Yuji's resurrection a secret. He will train Yuji privately, and then when Yuji has mastered the basics of Jujutsu, he will be returned to the general class. On the other hand, there was a Jujutsu sorcerer who was discussing with the cursed spirit. His name was Suguru Gido. He is very powerful, that the curses have great respect for him. The curses asked him for advice on how to defeat the Jujutsu sorcerers. Gido said there are 2 requirements to be filled to win the battle. First, they must win against the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer, Satoru Gojo. Second, they must work with Sukuna or Yuji for partnership. If these conditions can be met, the curses will definitely win. When night fell, the plan to attack Satoru Gojo began. The curse that attacked Gojo is named Jogo, an unregistered high-grade curse. Even so, he still had a hard time fighting Satoru Gojo.
Reality. Curse technique reversal.
Gojo even had a time to teleport and bring Yuji in the battlefield. He wanted to make this battle a training medium for Yuji. Gojo wanted to show the highest level of Jujutsu called Ryoki Tenkai, or the expansion of territory.
Domain expansion.
Jogo issued his Tenkai, which was a mountain area filled with lava. The only way to defeat this Tenkai was to override it with another Tenkai. Gojo used his Tenkai, which was an infinite vacuum space. The enemy in the Tenkai couldn't do anything. Finally, Gojo managed to cut off Jogo's head. However, he was left alive for interrogation subject. Unfortunately, Jogo's life was saved by his cursed partner named Hanami. They fled while hiding their presence and managed to return to their hideout. There was Gigo and the cursed squad leader named Mahito. He was the leader of Jogo and his friends. It turned out he was the cursed who made alliance with Gojo. 1 month later, Mahito starts his plan. He visited a cinema and killed 3 people. There was a witness for the incident. He was a young boy named Junpei Yoshino. Junpei decided to follow Mahito and talk to him. His feeling was uncertain. 3 people whom Mahito killed were the students at the same school with him. Those 3 people often bully him at school, meaning that Mahito has saved him indirectly. After the incident, Junpei followed Mahito and befriended with him. Mahito also told him about curses and Jujutsu sorcerers. He was intended to make Junpei his pawn. Meanwhile, Gojo asked his senior, Kento Namami, to investigate this case. He is first-grade Jujutsu sorcerer. He was also asked to bring Yuji to learn. They set off to the crime scene and acquired footage from the security camera. Junpei was seen obviously in the footage. Namami asked Yuji to investigate Junpei, while Namami will search for Mahito. Namami realized that Mahito had intentionally left a trail. It means it was a challenge. Then he went to meet Mahito. They fought immediately and wanted to see how great their enemy's strength was. Mahito is still unfamiliar with Jujutsu techniques. He fought using his physical strength, in a contrast to Jogo, who has been able to control the expansion area. Namami and Mahito were both injured. After fighting for quite long, they parted ways. Meanwhile, Yuji managed to get closer to Junpei and be friends with him. Yuji even was invited for dinner. Their friendship is getting closer as they have same hobby. It's getting late and Yuji went back to his dorm. Mahito placed Sukuna's finger unknowingly at Junpei's house. As a result, a curse appeared and killed Junpei's mother. The next morning, Mahito instigated Junpei that Sukuna's finger was deliberately placed by someone. Then, Junpei went to school and accused students who often use his money to buy achievement or titles. Junpei started to feel hatred and resentment fulfill his mind. He also started to be able to use Jujutsu technique. Same with curses, Jujutsu techniques come from negative human feelings such as hatred, revenge, regret, and so on. Because Junpei was filled with hatred, negative energy emerged enveloping his soul. A little smear will make him a Jujutsu sorcerer. Unfortunately, he was stirred up and crossed the wrong path. Yuji came to see him and tried to wake him up. They had fought and Yuji could control the battle. He could easily defeat Junpei, but Yuji intentionally received Junpei's attack to wake him up. When Junpei was about to come to his sense, Mahito came and ruined everything. He turned Junpei into a curse in front of Yuji. Yuji had asked Sukuna to restore Junpei. He also was ready to give his body in return. This time, Yuji didn't remember that he had made agreement with Sukuna. It was the effect of the previous term in which Yuji had to forget about the agreement they had made. Mahito was confused to see Sukuna rejected the deal. Actually, it was his intention to free Sukuna and asked Sukuna to join him. Mahito wasn't aware that Sukuna had a contract with Yuji. Sukuna provoked Yuji to collect his negative energy. As a result, his energy grew massively because his intention to kill Mahito. Sukuna had helped him indirectly. Nobody knows Sukuna's true intention. Mahito tried to enter Yuji's subconscious state where Sukuna lives and was frightened. Sukuna also kicked him out. The fight continues. This time, Namami joined the battle to help Yuji. Mahito was beaten up. When his life was endangered, suddenly he was able to raise Ryoki Tenkai. Namami was trapped in Mahito's territory and threatened his life. Meanwhile, Yuji was out of the area. Then Sukuna appeared and destroyed Mahito's Tenkai. Mahito was badly injured and escaped. Yuji, who reached his limit, couldn't chase him. Yuji and Namami reluctantly returned to their base, while Mahito also returned to his hideout. They make their next plan to infiltrate the Jujutsu Academy. They plan on stealing 6 Sukuna's fingers that are stored at the academy. Next, Jujutsu Academy will hold a friendly match. 6 students from Tokyo will face 6 students from Kyoto. Those from Tokyo are Megumi Fushiguro, Nobara Kujisaki, Maki Zinin, Toge Inumaki, Panda, and Yuji Itadori. While the students from Kyoto are Maizinin, Oi Todo, Momo Mishimiya, Mekamaru, Noritoshi Kame, and Kasomi Miwa. On this occasion, Gojo announced that Yuji is still alive. Before the match started, each academy was given time to make strategy. Yoshinobu Gakuganji, as the principal of Kyoto Branch Academy, ordered his students to kill Yuji. He is one of the higher-ups who want to eliminate Yuji. He ordered his students to kill Yuji as if by accident. But there is one student who doesn't want to follow this plan. He is Oi Todo. Then the match starts. Yuji will fight against Todo. At the beginning, Yuji was beaten up and fell down. Todo thought it was over, but he was surprised by Yuji's awakening. It turned out Yuji was not as weak as he thought. Todo tried to judge Yuji in a unique way. He asked Yuji's ideal woman. Yuji replied that his ideal woman is similar to Jennifer Lawrence. Hearing his answer, Todo felt Yuji was matched with him. Yuji was a figure of a friend he was looking for. After that, the atmosphere has changed slightly. 4 students of Kyoto came to Yuji and were ready to kill him, but they were expelled by Todo, and furthermore, Todo didn't intend to kill Yuji at all. Instead, he trained Yuji with all his heart and considered him best friend. In the middle of the match, the students were shocked by Hanami's appearance. The enemy's plan started unexpectedly, and it was Gito's plan. Hanami and several curses are assigned to divert the attention, while other curses will steal Sukuna's fingers. The students worked together to fight Hanami. However, Hanami wasn't hurt at all. When all students were having a hard time, Yuji and Todo came. They showed their training result. Todo has ability to switch places with whoever he wants. They are very compatible and made Hanami quite overwhelmed. However, Hanami is still hard to defeat. Everything stopped when Gojo arrived. Seeing his arrival, Hanami and his squad fled immediately. Hanami was hit by an attack, eliminating a half of his body. In the end, the friendly match must be stopped due to the incident. The enemy managed to take Sukuna's fingers and other cursed objects. Several days later, 3 students of the first grade ran on a mission as usual. This time, they are assigned to exorcise the curse that lives in Yasohachi Bridge. It is rumored that the bridge is haunted and is often used to commit suicide. Arriving there, they have to face different curses, one of which is a manifestation of Sukuna's finger, the same monster where the one appeared on the prison. This time, Megumi will fight the monster. He had a hard time and was almost beaten up. At the last moment, Megumi's strength grew rapidly. He used the highest Jujutsu technique called Ryuki Tenkai. By expanding the area, Megumi managed to defeat the monster. Meanwhile, Yuji and Nobara also succeed defeating their enemies. When Megumi handed Sukuna's finger, suddenly Sukuna appeared through Yuji's hands. Yuji has absorbed 4 fingers. Thanks to the 3 of them, Yasohachi Bridge is finally purified. Megumi, Yuji, and Nobara are recommended into level 1 by Todo, means that they have been acknowledged. And the story ends here. What do you think about Jujutsu Kaisen? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel while activating the bell to receive notification of the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next video.